Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. If you were a teen in the 2010s, you will recall the great sitcom series triumphant at a prestigious performing arts school, where a 16-year-old conservative Vega will show what she can do and sparkle away from her sister Trina. Among the show's intermittent cast was Ariana Grande, who has since shaken the music world. The film One the Same Today discusses a successful reboot set to air in 2022, with the show's cast examining the Nickelodeon series that addressed youngsters everywhere, particularly those with imaginative goals. Tori Vega, played by Victoria Equity, gets acknowledged into Hollywood Expressions, a very cool school for skilled youngsters. There, she begins to turn out to be more fearless as she feels less eclipsed by her more seasoned sister. The pleasant exhibitions remain closely connected with the surprising and ridiculous difficulties that Tori and her companions face day to day. Her companions are melodic wonders. Andre Harris, the socially off-kilter Robbie Shapiro, the pseudo-nemesis, young lady Jade West, has extremely excellent TV first-class acting, as does the sweet yet gullible redhead Feline Valentine, who is played by, in all honesty, Ariana Grande. Okay, on the off chance that you don't realize it, Ariana began performing when she was only 8 years of age in an ESPN broadcast of the Florida Jaguar Song of Praise. She adored the stage and adhered to it, doing jobs like Snow White and showing up in Broadway Melodies 13 at age 15. This is a result of this melodic that she got the piece of feline and triumphant, very much like Ariana Cat had melodic yearnings, so it was nothing unexpected when Ariana broke into the music business and won individuals' love back in 2011, her most memorable single, Put Your Hearts Upturned. Out to be very famous with a victorious fan base, and in view of this Ariana's personality, Feline made do and made it into the series spin-off Salmon Feline. In 2013, Ariana delivered her most memorable collection. And yours genuinely, besides the fact that it appeared at #1. However, soon Ariana was visiting or recording with Justin Bieber, Iggy Azalea, and Jessie J. As of July 2021, Ariana is the 7th most followed Twitter account and the 2nd most followed craftsman on Spotify. So, when the triumphant cast began indicating a series reboot, nothing unexpected. Fans were biting the dust to figure out Ariana's interpretation of it. Well, the reboot comes after an extremely effective reboot of a Corleone show. Likewise created by Dan Schneider, likewise at Nickelodeon. Victorious has likewise seen an expansion in notoriety after the show was placed on Netflix a couple of years prior. Yet for what reason did the show end so suddenly? In the principal case, a few fans were really disturbed that the side project series featuring Ariana, Sam, and Cat was the reason triumphant finished. However, this wasn't the explanation. Young lady, I don't have the foggiest idea how to tumble off a seat and make it look genuine, and what is that? Evidently, there was a tremendous fight between the show's lead co-stars, Victoria and Ariana. Fans estimated that Ariana's ubiquity in the music scene drove her to be less keen on the show. Yet back in 2013, Ariana tweeted that it wasn't her choice by any means to drop the show. She even pointed a portion of the fault towards Victoria Equity, who was going it alone at the time. Victoria then, at that point, denied it being her issue and said it was unreasonable for Ariana to nail this to her. This little question appeared to be odd at that point, taking into account Nickelodeon never delivered an authority justification behind the show's finishing. So out of nowhere, bits of gossip about a hamburger among Ariana and Victoria went on for quite a while, as fans conjectured around the finish of Victorious, yet the two stars excused the report. Indiscreet meetings. All of that show stuff is so senseless. I love Ariana, and she's killing it at the present moment. She's been so steady with me and my music, and you know we messaged. It's truly cool. Victoria proceeded to make sense of the fact that the size of this talk was simply because the media had been stoking the fire. She likewise said that it was baffling to see individuals who love to set ladies in opposition to each other, not simply Ariana Victoria, actually stay in contact with one another after such a long time. The cast are all still companions, as a matter of fact. They, as of late, held a 10th commemoration Zoom meeting, perhaps with the exception of one individual, Jeanette McCurdy, who played Sam in iCarly, and in the Nickelodeon spin-off Salmon. Feline discusses those days as something she needs to fail to remember. I feel so unfulfilled by the jobs that I played, and I felt like they were only the most messy and humiliating. I envision there's an altogether different encounter to be had with acting on the off chance that you're glad for your job. Presently, Jeanette Center is her one-lady show and digital recording void inside. However, Jeanette isn't part of the victorious reboot, as she was just Ariana's co-star in Sam and Feline, so the cast is really old buddies and everybody appears to be up for a get-together, yet has Nickelodeon affirmed. The reboot, well, not yet. What we have so far are the project's responses to a reboot. They're really energetic, however, and fans are starting to believe it's pretty genuine. I've gotten along with the cast and we've all hung out and I love them generally profoundly. Thus much, I would be down to do a little something. I don't know sincerely. I truly don't have any idea what is the deal with all of that. Co-star Elizabeth Gillies has had a similar sort of energy about the reboot. She even said that any individual who isn't down for the reboot just stinks. Elizabeth likewise added that she would possibly be a part of the reboot, assuming the show utilized similar sets and individuals. On the off chance that it's done ineffectively, she wouldn't be keen on it. And in the event that the energy of the cast isn't enough since the show's spike in fame through Netflix, fans all around the world have been requesting a reboot. Wizards of Waverly Place and Victorious reboot won't occur when the entire cast is in a real sense down for a recovery, and the fundamental message that fans and us, to be straightforward, are sending is that we want a legitimate consummation of the show. Back in 2013, makers left the entirety of their fans stunned subsequent to finishing the show with no advance notice. Not even the lead stars realized about the completion prior to shooting its last episode as a result of this unexpected consummation. The show provided no guidance to how the characters could end, so a reboot seems like the main arrangement, right? And Victoria appears to affirm it's being discussed anyway. In light of the fact that there aren't any set plans doesn't mean she hasn't thought about to wear her personality Tori Vega. Maybe years after the fact with the Icarly reboot, so famous it's difficult to accept that Nickelodeon isn't thinking about doing likewise. With Victoria's, however, we actually have one cast part to discuss. Ariana Grande. Obviously, while Ariana may be in fact down for a get-together, she doesn't have all great tales about her experience with the show. As a matter of some importance, in a meeting she gave in 2014, Ariana discussed living with a person she didn't relate to. Evidently it required Ariana a long investment to isolate herself from her personality. Furthermore, show individuals how different she is from Kat. There's a significantly hazier go to this. Nickelodeon taught Ariana how to act with every one of her fans. She was trained on the most proficient method to answer during interviews and stay away from points the makers would have rather not been examined. So she truly couldn't act naturally. In actuality, unusual, isn't it? Ariana was also stringently educated not to get pregnant graciously, and she needed to awaken at 5 a.m. or earlier consistently and head to sleep around 12 p.m. so she could find all her homework. Do you have any idea about why Ariana has fostered her particular high braid look on the grounds that Dan Schneider made her color her hair red each other week for 3 entire years, since he didn't maintain that his entire cast should be made of brunettes toward the finish of the show? Ariana's hair was totally obliterated. She needed to conceal it behind a pigtail and expansions. As a matter of fact, she even needed to sign the freedoms to her hair off to Nickelodeon toward the beginning of the show. What a silver lining, her unique look, which motivates numerous ladies all over the planet today. Yet perhaps the show's unexpected closure was uplifting news for Ariana. She even tended to individuals who remarked on her wearing hairpieces. On top of this, there have been all kinds of serious charges about Dan Schneider's way of behaving, whose vocation at Nickelodeon finished out of nowhere.